Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes in the future and the past are battling deeper into their stacks. Declan, Honor System, and Alan freed the mages of the divination compartment, while House Farch discovered skeletons inside an underwater tourist attraction. Will our heroes be able to free their timelines from Grayson Typhus? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
So Declan, Honor System, and Alan, you arrive at the N block. T. You're going for...
Yeah, we're going for genetics.
Yeah.
So we want an army of Quinnies, please.
My apologies. You arrive at T block.
There's not going to be an army of Quinnies.
I mean, we'll see what happens when this door opens. The DM said, try to figure out whether or not there's an army of Quinnies in this game. The sort of large metallic double doors open, and you find yourselves in a quite sort of the stark opposite of what you just saw. So where previously you're in kind of like a dimly lit room with these sort of massive precog stacks, this is closer to the reception hall. It's bright, very sterile. A lot of white, a lot of silver from sort of stainless steel. And there are sort of large glass tanks full of liquid lining the walls. And in the center, there's sort of like open concept office desks with sort of various papers and things. There's kind of like a couple of rolling whiteboards that have diagrams up on them. And you actually find a bunch of scientists who look like the attendants from the previous area having lunch. And they look up, they're like, "Oh, sorry, is there an inspection today?"
No, just a surprise visit from your new CEO, arms wide.
As this is happening, I'm looking around to see if there's security.
In this room, no.
Dope.
They go, I'm sorry, the new body isn't ready.
Well, let's see where it is.
And immediately they start panicking and like trying to hide their fast food and just kind of generally they've all been caught with their pants down. So they're sort of leaping
with
up.
their pants down?
Yeah, they all pull up their pants. It's a very weird room.
Look,
How do
science.
they eat?
Yeah. So I think
Their hands.
I was going to say,
Laura.
is this the one door that they're going in and out if they're keeping these places secure? Are there other
Yes.
doors? Okay, cool. Then I'm going to stay by the door.
Okay.
So nobody can leave while Alan's interrogating them.
Right. Okay, one moment, please.
I'll stand by Alan, following her around.
So an orc comes over and kind of adjusts his lab coat. He says, my name is Dr. Benjamin, Blumpkin Benjamin. It's a pleasure to meet you. Mr. Typhus, again, I do apologize, but even though your father ordered several of these, as you know, we've been having difficulty getting them ready. Are you finding there's a serious degree of degradation on yours, or what seems to be the issue?
No. I mean, no issues that I've identified so far, but...
And he starts like poking at your face, and he's like, this seems off. The dimensions here aren't working at all. And what's wrong with your ears? I mean, this one seems to be degrading at a much faster rate than we anticipated.
Excuse me? I'm degrading?
Well, I mean, yes.
Oh.
And he says, I mean, particularly compared to, and he points to sort of the whiteboard, and there are several pictures of Adonis from various angles. And there's like a 3D scan of his face and other things. And yeah, looking at it, this isn't a great imitation you're wearing.
Well, fix it.
Okay, sure.
I start fantasizing lining up a shot on King Dickhead here.
That's Dr. Dickhead, PhD.
Dr. Blumpkin.
Dr. Blumpkin Benjamin Dickhead. Yes.
PhD.
PH Dick.
So he says, now again, as I said, we haven't had the results that we've wanted yet, but it would seem that you must have already transferred to one of the prototypes if your body's experiencing this much degradation. That's very upsetting. What did you do with your original body?
Oh, we don't need to be concerned about that.
Okay, well,
My father took care of it before he died.
I see. Okay, well, hopefully there's a genetic vault somewhere we can tap because we were counting on... okay, well, that's fine. That's
Just shooting for the breeze. Don't know what's going to happen.
fine. Sorry, what?
That was subdermal.
She says to Dr. Blumpkin.
Yeah, Dr. Benjamin's like, oh, I understand. It kind of like squeaks out his ear with a pinky finger and says, okay, well, and he starts waving to people. He's like, all right, prep, I guess, number 6, I suppose. Prep number 6 for transfer. And they all give him like really shocked looks. And he goes, yep, we're just doing this. So
Now, question. How ready are you?
as I said, we expected that your lifespan would be a bit longer in the previous body. We've been throwing as much energy as we can into finding a replacement for you, but there hasn't been much luck.
Subdermally, I want to reach out to you, Alan, and kind of help you direct the conversation. Honor System will say, we're looking for the mages. Ask about the mages.
Look, I didn't come here to get quote unquote fixed. I want to know exactly what you're doing here to get a better understanding.
Oh, well, I'm sure your father will fill that back in once we give him his new body.
My
father's dead. Yeah, okay.
No, dead.
Yes, I understand. So where should we deliver the new body? And as you kind of look to where he's gesturing, you see 3 Grayson typhuses floating in various stages of development in tubes.
If you say the word pizza, I'm shooting this guy in the head.
So
I subdermally vocalize.
Who else have you got down here?
Well, so far we have your father, of course, as he requested. He was worried about the disease that you were suffering from. So obviously we've got replacements for you that we've been developing. Although because the genetic coding had the cancerous tissues in it, it's been a little bit difficult. Unfortunately, all the copies have also replicated that, as I'm sure you're discovering as you're in a prototype body yourself. We've got, of course, Ms. Rathburn to continue the dynasty. But as far as we're concerned, as soon as we perfect this, we will be able to provide you with bodies for as long as you want the dynasty to run. And then, of course, you can switch to new ones as you see fit.
Excellent. Guys.
The mages, Alan. We need to find the mages. We know what happened in the divination block. Imagine what these people are going through here.
So, just trying to get a better understanding of things. How are you using these, this magical source mages, whatever they are?
The battery. Yes, no, they're just down in the central battery.
Excellent. And that provides you with sufficient power to
for our purposes, yes. As you know, transmutation isn't a particularly permanent science, so we're really using them as more of a guiding and crafting point. We're actually more excited about the changeling delivery that seems to be coming. It's truly rare to be able to find an enclave of such creatures. But if we can harvest their genetics, we should be able to get if we can use their genetic malleability with the visual imaging we're getting from all the transmutation mages, we should have a very, very good shot at creating much better replicas.
Oh, yes. And where are the changelings being stored?
They're being delivered in a few days.
Oh, of course. Of course I knew that already.
How could you know that?
Oh, I was told by the other guy.
Oh. was it Mike Hawk?
Yeah, okay.
It was.
That fucking dick. Anyway, he's not supposed to tell people that.
Well, he's telling everyone.
Oh, all right. Well, I better get on the phone to the director. And he just goes, you'll have to excuse me for one second, Mr. Typhus. And he goes and
the moment he starts raising his hand to his ear, rifle up in the head. Like, I'm not even letting him get to that.
As the bullet tears through the back of his head, he just yells, Blumpkin!
I was like, this is an old-fashioned, low-tech stick-up. Everybody on your knees. You go for a subdermal. We put a hole in your face.
Everybody starts to sink down. But there's always that one hero.
Oh, yeah, I shoot him in the head.
As you do so, you see his hand come off a remote, and all of the glass tubes lower. And shambling, half-finished bodies start climbing out.
Of CEOs?
Yeah.
Well, okay, Honor System unsheathes Legion and just goes to town.
And I
boy.
was going to say, and at the same time, I've got my rifle out. It's just pistol in the other hand, and I just start gunning down all the people in the middle.
Magic missile firing everywhere.
What's the montage song as you annihilate all these people?
Mad World. It's just Gary Jules.
So it's slow-mo.
But it's just ruthless slaughter of running scientists getting shot down, chopping through zombies, Alan blowing everything up.
Yeah. So by the time we hit that second mournful chorus of Mad World, everyone's dead. The place is just a carnal house. You've murdered everything in the room. I noticed I didn't make you roll for any of them because they were all unarmed and weak.
Okay, so
The battery. We have to find the battery.
there's a central battery apparently full of people. But first, and I just want to go over because I'm imagining there's some sort of command console or something, and I just want to boost the info I can with Porna, just so I've got a central database kind of thing.
Yes, you hear that the only real piece of information you can get from this is that the delivery of changelings seems to be transdimensional.
Okay, so they're bringing the changelings in from somewhere else. I'm imagining it might be from your friends over on the other side, but there could be third and theoretically infinite number of other possibilities. Do you know any changelings, Alan?
Well, we know Juniper
Who's Juniper?
on the other
Juniper?
side.
I was driving the mech. I did not really speak to anyone.
That's right. Okay, so
I
they've
was
got
helping
one.
Declan aim. I also did not hear from anyone.
Okay, so they've got a Juniper. Should we check in with them? Maybe this Juniper knows something about
Yeah,
changeling delivery.
yeah.
Okay, so take out your weird collar.
Juniper? Hey?
The call comes through. You just hear screams and a splash of water and whipping. You see a tentacle whip past.
All right.
Okay, well, it sounds like they're busy. So,
I'm like, changelings.
that Juniper?
Changelings.
okay, I'm assuming changelings don't have tentacles. Do you know that?
I mean, I think they could.
All right, this is just going to be an ongoing question mark. So, we've killed everyone here and liberated no one. I would say this is a net gain.
Where is the battery?
I don't know. There's a central. We killed everyone. I can't ask questions on
The
them.
console, Declan.
The console just told me where to change. This is the thing. It's like segmented security. They don't tell me about the rest. Maybe we could keep one person alive in the necromantic area, or maybe bring someone back if they die. We can just keep working forwards.
Can I explore the space here? Is there like the vats that these people are being grown in? Is there any connective cables or anything leading to a common space or anything?
They all go into the walls,
Into the
unfortunately.
walls.
So you get the sense that all of these things are wired up to a central battery that's not off site, but not on this floor. From kind of a cursory look, based on what they're using these mages for, it's not as intensive as the precogs. And it also seems like it may be slightly less invasive.
That doesn't make honor system feel better, but that's good to know that they're not in this room being like cut open or whatever.
It might be for several other divisions. They've got like a bunch of them in a, for lack of a better term, stack, where they just stack them up and then they can run the power out.
The only way to be sure will be to check every block.
I like this because it coincides with our existing plan. Right now, we could go to security, the illusion, and hiding if we want to open this up so we could have friends and or enemies arrive. Or we could do necromancy if we feel like we might find that phylactery or whatever.
Necromancy has the least protection.
That is true.
We should go there next.
All right, then let's go to necromancy. I'm sort of liking this Adonis bit. Do we feel like this is going to be an ongoing thing?
It fooled the other guys.
Everybody clean up, and I like wipe my sword off on like a lab coat.
I will say, Alan, you're able to improve your disguise because you can see a bunch of diagrams of his face.
All right, excellent.
I just reload my weapons and I guess wipe the blood off my face. The stuff on the uniform, it sort of blends in. That's why I chose this color. It's black.
I was going to say red? Oh.
And with that, you start making your way to N Block. Meanwhile, back in Dumfeyroon, a portion of the dome collapses inward and tentacles shoot through it. Can all of you please roll me a dex save?
Yes.
Oh, that's a nat 1, but I'm lucky. That's a 2. Come on.
Fuck.
Nat 20.
3.
Total of 10 for Quinny.
Okay, so Ryan, you rolled a nat 20, so I'm going to give you the option to take the damage instead of Quinny, since Quinny fucked up twice.
Done. I see it coming down on him and I just like shove you with the power of Moonhammer. It's like a fart shove.
All right, thank you for the vivid imagery.
It'll never stop.
Yeah, I know. Wicked. Okay, so the two of you who failed will take 14 points of damage.
Super. That's, yeah.
Makes you feeling better. I
great.
rolled a 2 and 2 1s, so could have been worse.
That's a beefy modifier.
Yeah. So the Kraken starts. You can see now it's kind of horrible, like beak and like horrible fucking underwater face. Stupid underwater face. And it starts trying to kind of grasp through the cracking glass. So it's not like the entire dome has imploded. It's kind of wedged in. Unfortunately, its tentacles clearly have reach.
Okay. Looking at this thing, can we see that? Is it some kind of composite kraken, like cyborg parts
not
or whatever?
from what you
or
can see.
It's just all organic, right?
Well, so far from what you can see, yeah.
Okay, but it's so massive, we're not even seeing the full thing.
No,
because
you're
of
just
the
seeing like
dome
part of, like, it's basically jammed its face and a few tentacles through through the crack.
Jesus, it's huge.
But yes, so you can see like the red eyes and everything else. But no, you don't see any tech on this.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go, "Ah!" And then I fart out like a shitload of little hammers till I've got a whole swirling field of like guardian hammers around me. And I'm like, with me, we got to go up those stairs. And then I'm just like grabbing Quinny, arm around Juniper and trying to book it towards the stairs.
Okay. So, oh boy. So the Kraken's going to get some shots at you. I'll ask you how you kind of want to try and dodge these things. Is it like just muscling through? Are you trying to like acrobat your way through?
I was going to say, Quinny might be able to dodge by dodging.
Great, then I'll let you go. I'm not going to fight you.
I'm just saying, like, the burden's not on you then, right? Like, and you, hopefully that doesn't like, hopefully that helps you like take advantage off you because you're holding two people while you're trying to line back your way through.
All
this.
right, so I try to help you both, and you shove off, and then you do whatever.
This is what I wanted to avoid: is the petty righteousness.
This is us arguing like this while the Kraken's going. It's like, fine, look after yourself. That's fine.
You know what? I will. I can look after. I'm not a baby. I look like a baby. I'm not a baby.
Yeah, clearly you're a little baby.
I backflip and flip you off at the same time.
Juniper, how are you trying to get through this?
I think I would just have my sword up, trying to like slash at the tentacles as they came at me to get it to stop.
Okay, so con save from Butthole, strength save from Juniper, and dex save from Quinny, please.
Nat 1 again. Let's re-roll.
7.
Better than a 2? An 8. So
8.
16.
And I got a 17.
All right, so Juniper, unfortunately, that does leave you open to attack. So you will take, oh, Christ, 22 from a tentacle just like basically grabs you and flings you across. You're like halfway up the stairs. It flings you across the room. You smash off the statue in the center, but your momentum is such that you actually crash land on the other set of stairs. So you kind of like get to your feet and continue your run.
Great.
It starts sort of cracking through further. You see Abe kind of float out and go, oh no, there seems to be a crack in the glass. And it goes up and starts trying to like fix the glass around the Kraken. As you kind of rush to the final space, you see its face start to crackle with electric energy. And it is going to throw some lightning at you as you rush into the stairwell. So one more time, dex save, please.
Is that all of us?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Nat 20. That's what I'm looking for.
3.
19.
19. All right. So,
I am wearing metal armor. This does check out.
yeah. So, you guys managed to kind of like get through and start closing the doors. Buttholes like last through, just kind of champion running his way through. Unfortunately, he will get hit for the full amount. Let me collect some dice here. Butthole, you take 24 points of lightning damage. And the doors slam behind you, and you're left in momentary silence.
Why couldn't it have been fire? I'm used to fire. And you look at me and like still twitching, like it's just inside the armor.
Like Marv from Home Alone.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. And then I was like, my hammer, and I fart, and it comes up into my own mouth, and it just slows me down. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on myself. So I re-heal myself for... That was not as good as one would have hoped, but that's still 21 points of damage I'll take back.
Well, it's almost like you didn't get hit by lightning. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all almost like I didn't get hit by lightning.
So you hear the creature kind of like screech in the other room.
Can I use my beast speech to understand the Kraken, or is a Kraken
Yeah, totally.
a supernatural creature? It's speak with animals, basically.
It is, but it also has psychic, the ability to communicate telepathically. So I think if you kind of reach out with beast speech, you just keep hearing, oh, so hungry, just such tasty little morsels. Just gotta fucking nom, murder and eat.
This thing's just hungry. You think it's just so big that it's always hungry? Is there some way we can leverage this?
I mean, we could feed it.
Us?
But I mean, that wouldn't be my first choice.
No,
but
not mine either. But there's no food hanging around here. There's fucking bones.
not yet. But maybe we could bring a lot of food through a portal. Like we open up a portal outside, and we open up a portal in the Badland, and then they shove bad people through, and they all get eaten by the Kraken. And it's like, well, I'm going to take a nap.
Quinny looks around. In this harrowing moment, this encounter with the Kraken, did we even go into the right door?
You did, yes. So you're
God, okay.
up the stairs. You basically, it's the same sort of set of doors you saw downstairs, but this one leads into sort of a basically like the ground floor lobby of an elevator bay. So there's a giant glass tube in the center of the room that seems to go all the way up. And there's a very ornate sort of elevator in it. That said, you can't see how it would be operable at this point. There's like a button, but there's no lights on or anything.
So it look like we can get up inside the tube and scale up manually?
Yep, you can scale it manually. There are also sort of like surface stairs at either side.
Okay.
And in here, of course, it's similarly painted, being like ascend into excitement. And there's all sorts of like pictures around of the man you saw in the other room.
The man, right. What does this guy look like?
He looks like Alan Dale from the OC. Just kind of like a stern but handsome sort
Human
of middle-aged human made. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's go with that first option. Butthole will open a portal and feed bad guys to the Kraken.
Okay, that'll. Juniper, how are you
Alright.
feeling? You kind of got your ass kicked there.
Yeah, I'm just. Why don't I just take a moment and I'm gonna lay on hands on myself.
I'm gonna just cure my own wounds again. Like I'm still feeling it, so I'll do another level one. Because also, I don't think we want to spend the time inside one door away from a Kraken. Like
I'm also
hit dicing it.
generally going to say that hit dice aren't on the table right now.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
So yeah,
this is an endurance challenge,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're going to take a short rest. It's like, oh, okay, well, fuck me. I'll just take the tension and go home.
Be careful with
I'm gonna give myself 45. I'm gonna leave myself 5 just in case I gotta, bring someone back from oblivion.
I was gonna just. I'll be careful with my 2 spell slots.
how are you doing there,
Maximum
Quinny?
magic.
Are you still ass kicked, or are you okay?
I'm doing good. Thanks for covering me back there.
Hey, no problem. Sorry about the whole middle finger thing. You did pretty good, Juniper. Next time, maybe let me drag you. All right, let's keep going.
Butthole, you feel a buzzing in your pocket.
Hello.
So smash cut back to 2099. Alan, the call you sent is finally being responded to.
Hey,
Hello.
Juniper.
But that's not me. This is Butthole.
Alan's asking for Juniper.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Hey, Juniper. Yeah. So they're bringing changelings here, for some like cloning shit.
Juniper, you don't really know what cloning shit is. I guess they probably told you about the clone Quinnies, but this still
Yeah.
seems like kind of magical bullshit. But generally speaking, like no one really knows how to find the changelings. So this is pretty alarming news.
Yeah. As a Juniper, just thinking and saying out loud, well, like, where would they be coming from? It's like, I mean, they brought mages from here, but I guess they could be bringing in changelings from your world.
The delivery scheduled for a few days from now.
Jeez. I mean, that's weird. I mean, we're usually in hiding. No one usually knows where we are.
Maybe you got busted. Wait, Alan, we also had another thought. We have our weird little portal, and even though ours is busted and we can't call out, you can call in, which might also work for the big portal. Big upside, if you call us, maybe you can come through. Big downside, there's a murder kraken that's taking over the place that we can't kill, and it's very scary. However, if you open up your portal and just shove a bunch of those evil people you mentioned through, maybe we can eat them. Do you have like, I don't know, this would be really convenient, but like a room full of bodies or something?
I mean, yeah, we do, but
We have 2 so
I mean,
far.
how are we going to get them all?
Well, do you know
I
what they
mean-
say about bodies? You can always make more.
I mean, if we had like Butthole's bag of holding, it'd be another story, but I don't see that coming through this little monocle glass.
Yeah, I've heard bad things about putting bags of holding through portals. I wouldn't try it. You also can't put a bag inside a bag. That goes real bad. Call it bag exploding, am I right? Oh, sorry, we're doing things.
Oh, I get it, because the bag made the other bag explode. I am sorry. I am still working on my humor unit.
Oh, no, it seems like you got it pretty good if you thought that was funny. I like that one. What's your name?
I am Bourbon Sherbert, the always learning Rubert.
It's good that you're learning. I don't know what a Rubert is, but I'm sort of proud of you. I say words wrong, too.
Oh, that is nice to hear. I have never been able to say the word properly. It is in my programming.
Maybe you are saying it properly and everyone else is wrong.
You're looking right at Quinny.
I will think on this.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But yeah, if you could just shove a bunch of people through the portal so that the Kraken eats them, that would be super.
Yeah, people no one's going to miss, right?
I mean,
I trust your judgment, Alan. Also, send a fireball through, too.
I mean, these people are
squid.
like torturing mages. I'm pretty willing to sacrifice the hell out of them.
Sounds
Yeah.
great. You don't have to justify it to me. I
also-
don't care about them.
I know,
you
but I
find
gotta
some-
justify it in the butthole.
If you find some sort of like super weapon, that would also be really good because this Kraken is very big and very angry.
Alan, as you're talking to them, you can kind of see the images on the walls behind them. And for some reason, like, there's a very happy Grace and Typhus just pointing towards an elevator shaft.
Whoa, okay, guys, that statue?
Yeah, that's the bad man, we think.
Yes, it is. That's Grayson Typhus.
Who's
He's
that?
bad, and he is not as dead as we thought he was.
No, it's just a statue, Alan. It's fine.
Yeah, but he's a real person here.
Oh, okay, what person is he?
He's the one who like designed all of this stack crap.
Wait, so
I mean, look at this place. He must be like 1,000,000 years old.
Is
is he the
he
one?
might be 1,000,000 years old.
Is he the one with the Dr. Phil?
He keeps coming back in new bodies.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
what
like
you
a
think?
Dr. Phil to me from what I learned from you guys.
I mean, I have no idea how long this has been going on.
What if it's here?
What's here?
It's Dr. Phil. It would make sense. You're like, I live in a future world and everyone wants to kill me. Where am I going to hide my Dr. Phil? And you're going to go, not where they'd find it, maybe somewhere different, like underwater with a Kraken. Where it raises his hands like he solved a massive mystery. But at the same time, now Alan's looking at the floor because it's in one of his hands. Huh?
I mean, yeah, it's a theory.
This could be a good call, Alan. Bye. He just like puts it in his bag again.
So the three of you, Butthole, Juniper, and Quinny, are in, again, you have a brief second respite, so you heal up a little bit. Are you planning on taking the side stairs or going up the elevator shaft?
Stairs, I mean, just seem easy. I don't see why we need to take the shaft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very heavy. I don't want to climb.
Yeah,
I won't be good at that.
I'm fine with just taking the stairs.
Okay, I think stairs.
So Declan, Honor System, and Alan, you arrive at N block. This one has, you're actually kind of pleasantly surprised to see a big spooky door. It is 100% leaning in. It's got kind of like, it's a big wooden doors with kind of like metal knockers on them and kind of like a large framework of silver sculpted bone around the door frame. And a big sign that says N block, but it's written in like fancy script.
Alan, are you ready to do this one more time? Well, one of many more times.
And would you knock or should we just try to open it?
I'm the CEO. Let's just walk in.
I get the door for her.
The door creaks open and it's almost embarrassing how overdone this place is. Like, it's pure black. There's like cobwebs hanging everywhere. There's big braziers with fire, like blue fire burning in them. And a man in robes comes over and says, "Welcome to the crypt. How can I help you?"
Seriously?
"Yes, this is the crypt. How can I help you?"
Okay, I close the door behind us. Take my door position.
Good. The light offends us.
Offends who?
Us, the keepers of the crypt.
Well, I admire your commitment.
Yes, you should. We who live in the darkness must have commitment to our causes.
All right. So, anyways, I'm the new CEO, and
The new Dark Lord.
I am your new Dark Lord.
He goes, everyone, the Dark Lord has arrived. And all of a sudden, a bunch of people come shuffling out in robes. Like, it's kind of like a collection of the guy from Disenchantment who's just kind of like got the third eye. Just like kind of shitty looking cultists. They all come out and they get down on their knees and they all bow to you. And they just say, Dark Lord, guide us. And he says, yes, we have been excited to hear that you might grace us with your presence. Have you come to add your essence to that of the others?
I've come to examine the others.
Ah, well, if you're the new Dark Lord, surely you must know our ancient prayer. Lead us in it and we will show you the secrets.
No. I want you to demonstrate your devotion and lead the others.
I subdermally message Honor System like, if this goes bad, we kill everybody but the first guy.
So he looks at you a little suspiciously and says, it is strange for the Dark Lord to want such lowly worms as us to lead ourselves in anything. But I suppose if that is your command, who are we to face you, my Dark Lord? No, like, Dark Lord, Dark Lord, Dark Lord. And then he turns around like a weird choir director and he's like, okay, everyone. Like we practiced yesterday at lunch.
They all take their pants off.
Yeah. And then they start like shuffle stepping. It's just like left foot, right foot shuffle stepping on the spot.
God.
And they're like, who is our Lord? And they're like, the Dark Lord. And they're like, what color do they like? Dark. What shall they lead us away from? The light. And what shall they lead us to? And they all turn to you expectantly.
The dark.
They all like start like screaming in joy. They're just, it's rapturous. They're all about it. He says, of course you are our Dark Lord. Only the Dark Lord would know how to complete such a complex puzzle passed down through the ages. Whispered in the shadows, spoken of only in the crypt. So welcome, welcome. Let me show you to the essences. And he turns to look at Declan and Honor System and he says, pardon me, my Dark Lord, but they must join us in our attire if they are to enter the crypt. And he points to like some completely out of like kayfabe or like fucking hooks, just coat hooks that robes are hanging off of.
Honor System won't leave your side. At least
okay.
not. At least if you
And
if you
I
don't instruct him to.
subdermally vocalize to you, and I'm like, you got to bring everybody else if you're bringing me, or you need me out here to shoot anybody if they try to run. I don't care which. Your call. You can do fireballs, and he's a fucking ninja.
No.
To be clear, they just have to put the robes on over what they're wearing. They don't have to take off any of their other shit.
Okay, yeah.
Honor System will walk over, grab 2 robes, toss one to Declan. You can let it fall at your feet if you want. I don't care.
I'll put it on like a cape.
Yeah, and
so it doesn't restrict my arms.
I'll put it on.
Good enough.
I hate this guy.
And then he turns to them and he's like, I hate these guys. So he leads you in, it's you can tell that it's almost like a cheap Halloween store exploded in here. There's like stonework, but it's clearly sort of plastic stuff. It's the sort of things. I mean, I think Nairfrost would definitely have had dollar stores. Like it's definitely like dollar store style stuff that's been like stapled up everywhere.
It's the spirit of Halloween, that chain that pops up just at Halloween.
Yes. Yeah. So it's just like a bunch of that stuff, but they really have gone all in. Like every inch of this place is set. So they lead you to the back, and it almost looks, there's sort of a wall with sort of, you know, those like small, they're almost like small little alcoves where you'd place a candle in kind of old medieval architecture. It's like that, but in each alcove, there is a like thin glass vial with a silver topper, a silver bottom, and almost like, think like an hourglass type metallic superstructure around a glass vial. And there's about 10 of these that are sitting in. A bunch of them are empty, but there are 10 that are filled with kind of a glowing purple essence. So, who of the executive suite would you like to see?
Oh. Who all do you have up here?
We are never told who is who. That would violate the Dark Lord's trust.
Well, then if I ask someone, how do you know if you have them?
And his eyes narrow, and he's like, a true Dark Lord would have this information. We sent it in the PDF.
And I sub-vocalize and just say, if you say the word pizza, I'm killing everybody except the old guy.
show me
The beast. You can just point at one. You don't have to know their name.
Yes.
They don't know their name.
that one. And I point to a random one.
So they take it off and say, yes, this fun. They hand it to you. And as they do, you kind of get like a psychic flash, and it seems to be a woman with kind of like long brown hair sitting in an office. And she seems to be like looking at a number, like she's got her computer open, and she's desperately trying to move financial records around to try and recover Typhus Corporation's plummeting stock. And she's just at her desk. There's like a bunch of energy drink cans around her. And there's a bunch of people in the office all kind of standing by, and she's just like, fuck. And she's just typing away madly.
All right, let's see the others.
So as you move through them, you see basically various members of the Typhus Corporation. They all seem to be doing different jobs. A couple of them are noticeably you don't get anything from. The vial is full, but there's like no one on the other end.
They dead, do I think?
You're not sure.
Well-
as you look around the room, though, and I think maybe this is more of a Declan thing, you do notice that there are several wooden coffins just kind of scattered about. You're not sure whether they're part of the decor or whether they're real things.
Subdermally, honor system again is just going to keep on that issue of like the mages, Alan. Where are the mages in the necromancy block?
You there, demonstrate to me where this power comes from.
Oh, unfortunately, we cannot right now. We have gone through our current stock. They drain rather quickly in order to create the phylacteries.
What does he mean, stock? And like honor system will like thumb the blade out of its.
Honor system, slow the fuck down. He just said the magic word. Phylactery. These might be phylacteries for a group of Typhus executives. We need to know everything we fucking can about phylacteries.
The blade just goes that half inch back into the scabbard.
So, okay, then just take me through a scenario. Say you get your new stock. Where do we go from there?
You are not quite as smart as our previous Dark Lord.
No, listen to me. I'm making you demonstrate how smart you are.
A chance to prove myself to the Dark Lord. He turns to the person next to him and is like, you see, Kevin, I told you I was the best cultist. And he turns back and he says, well, it is quite simple. When the Dark Lord finds one that they want in their retinue forever, they simply point them out to us. And then we acquire the appropriate amount of stock. Once we have the stock, we plug them into the machines of darkness. And then their essence powers the dark arcane rituals needed in order to create the phylactery. That way you will always have your board. You will always have the people you need by your side. And hopefully, and then it kind of looks left and right and a little bashful. He's like, perhaps also your most worthy servants.
And just ignoring that completely. So why are some of these phylacteries showing me nothing?
Well, it is complicated. You see, we have been trying to understand how this works, and that's we understand if you kill one who has a phylactery, they, how you say, reboot near the phylactery. And he goes over and he opens one of the coffins, and inside there is like a shriveled, like, accountant-looking guy. We hear that this is one of your best finance officers. He's growing back a little slower than we hoped, but as you can see, we have tried to fit him for a suit. And you can see there's just, like, a very fancy, kind of typical Typhus Corporation suit. Just kind of like, his body's been stuffed into it, but his body's, like, weird and spindly and small and kind of, you know, like weird, gross baby Voldemort. Like, it's that kind of thing. But it's inside this big, oversized suit.
So every time someone comes back, another mage dies?
Oh, no, I mean, several. The batteries are not very strong. They're not like our modern batteries. At least, that is what I'm told from the outside world. We do not know of such things here in the darkness.
Gotcha. And if one of the phylacteries were to, say, break, if someone were to be irresponsible here.
And he looks at Kevin, and he looks back at you. That has never happened here, I assure you.
If.
Can you roll me a 2d6 and add your wisdom?
7.
Okay, yeah, this seems like it's never happened here. It's fine. Kevin definitely didn't fuck something up. It's cool. Well, it would seem to me that if the phylactery were destroyed, so would be the very essence of the person it protects.
I think it might be time for
Pizza.
And yeah, he's been fantasizing. He's been fantasizing about it for a while. So for Declan, it's like the rifle was already in his hands. It's just up, and Kevin dies, and then guns out, and we're just wiping the floor.
So as you do so, he yells, "Ah!" And he says,
What an idiot.
"Powers of darkness, protect me!" And he throws out his arms, and a cloud of darkness sprays from his hands. Declan, go ahead and roll me a. Let's go with a survive, I guess. Roll 2d6 and add your dex.
5.
Unfortunately, the cloud hits you straight on, so you are going to take 5 points of damage as you inhale just noxious fumes, and you feel your skin beginning to burn.
But fucking hell! Cool.
Honor system, I assume you'd at this point like be at this guy.
Yes,
knocking
but
him to the ground.
I will. Yeah, exactly. I'll recognize that the plan is still to keep one of them alive, and he's the lucky one who gets to stay alive.
He is magical, so
My sword, I draw it out, but I don't swing the blade, so it's just the head of the handle going right into his sternum.
Sure.
I just want to knock the wind out of him.
So you hit him, he goes, and you see his vampire teeth fall out of his mouth and kind of clatter across the ground. And he just stumbles backward and falls over. And as he does so, under the robe, you can see he's wearing like a typical jumpsuit, and he's got sort of like almost Spider-Man style web shooters that are kind of seem to have canisters on them. And he's like, okay, you have defeated my magics.
Yeah, I'm like interrogation mode now, so I'll
The rest
sheath
of the
my
room is
sword.
dead.
Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna grab him by his jumpsuit, and grab him by the wrist that he didn't fire the cloud off, and just force his arm to his own face.
Oh, no.
And say, question time.
Okay, that is fair. You're very powerful, but I must warn you, I only answer to the Dark Lord.
And I stagger up and put a gun to his head, and I say, okay, here's the real fucking question. Where's the Dark Lord's phylactery? Otherwise, I'm putting a bullet through your fucking head.
Oh God, okay, man, okay, hey, don't, no, okay, we're all friends here, right? All friends of the darkness?
No more fucking pretending. And I just like grind it harder into his temple.
Okay, oh God,
And I'm just
man.
like, see, I knew it. He doesn't fucking get necromancy at all.
Whoa, look, I just work here, okay? It's real boring, no one ever comes here.
Where is Grayson Typhus's phylactery?
It's not here.
How do we find Grayson Typhus's phylactery?
I don't know, he wouldn't tell us.
Okay, well, here's where we're going to start our nice little educational lesson. And I reach over with my left hand and smash one of the phylacteries with the butt of my pistol.
Meanwhile, in a brand office in Waterdeep, Darius Crow, just an incredibly handsome, like 80s businessman type that people know from his fancy eyes. Oh, those eyes! Is busy showing the potential for like a Typhus rebrand, and he's like, "Listen, the tea is kind of stale, but I'm thinking we could punch it up with lowercase." And then all of a sudden, he just like coughs out dust, and his chest implodes. And he just staggers across the room and kind of like falls to dust.
Like wrong Grail style?
Yes.
Ooh.
And everyone in the room is like, interesting choice. Okay, good. We'll iterate on that. Smash cut back to end block.
Okay, there's one down. I got 9 more to go, and you're going to get blamed for all of them. So how about you fucking answer my question?
Look, no, he never gave us the phylactery. He said he wanted backups for all of his people.
Look, how did you cast that spell just now?
I am at one with the dark.
I shake him until he stops talking.
Okay.
and then-
It's this. It's just a noxious fume emitter.
Fucking idiot. I just throw it at, smash it out of his hand.
Yeah, and I grab him by the hair, and I'm like, where's the fucking med kit?
Oh, we don't keep one here. We're pretty on brand.
And I put the gun in his mouth, and I say, point to the med kit.
Ooh, he literally like points at coffins and then like at his eyeshadow and shrugs.
Anybody else have any fucking questions?
No.
Bang. And then I go break the other phylacteries.
And
For all of the dreams he had of being one with the darkness, he did not expect it to be so cold.
Yeah, I bet it tastes like cordite. And then I'm just smashing phylacteries, but it's like dancing around, like da-na-na-na-na, smash, ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na, smash. Da-na-na-na.
I say, Alan, help me make sure that this facility can't take any more power from the mages. It kills mages for this place to run. And I start like cutting into cables linked to coffins and stuff like that and just wrecking the place so that it can't draw power from
Interestingly, as you start hacking up this room, you can't find, like you hit all the spots you would think based on the previous rooms you've been in. There would be some kind of mage battery link up. You actually don't find any. You suspect the phylacteries are made elsewhere and then merely stored here.
Shit.
Okay, so all the phylacteries are broken. I don't know what's going on. And that guy kicked my fucking ass. What's the plan?
Declan,
I just like sit down.
you don't look good. You might not be able to pass as a guard anymore.
No, I mean, under the robe, and I take the robe off, and it's just like, no, it's me who's fucked up, like at the core. And I'm like, I don't think so either.
Yeah, your skin's all burnt up.
Does anybody have
Well-
any fucking medical shit?
Just hold still, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Are you casting it in the darkness? Beyond theme? In the spooky room?
Yes.
Yay! She casts Cure Wounds of Darkness. I wasn't done with the voice. All right, so yeah, you cast it, and you still kind of have to like use the robe to like rub the rest of it off your face. It's a very much like a Dennis Nedry kind of like spitter acid
Yeah.
thing. As you do so, though, you're finding like your skin is healing under it as Alan's magics flow through you.
Do you need to know how much you gain? Or are you good?
If it's 5, I'm back to full health. I don't have terribly much.
It's going to be 5. I
Nailed
think
it.
it's impossible for it to be lower.
I only have 11, so it's
Yeah.
I'm a gentle boy.
Yeah. Literally 5's the minimum.
I
So.
wipe my face off, and I'm like, oh, cool. Honestly, if this whole thing at the end of the war doesn't work out, you can't get back home, you could make a shitload of money as a healer. Okay. So, all right, who are we going to kill then? Like, just immediately calm, cool, and back to business.
Sure. So I assume you're just going to go down to the next floor.
I feel like we can just do these in order. It'd be weird to skip one what do we think, friends?
Does he have, oh God, what's Dracula Boy's name?
Oh, we never got it. You shot him.
Great.
You-
Kevin's best friend, I'm
God,
sure.
him,
hated that guy.
The servant of darkness.
Did the servant of darkness
No.
have
Thank you.
any more canisters of horrifying spray?
He
remaining?
does on his other wrist. So he managed to fire like one, but he kept the other one in reserve in case he had to cast it again. He has 2 spell slots.
I'm going to take it off and I'll toss it to Declan.
Cool, I'll strap it on as a weird close-up ambush. I'm terrible up close. This is delightful.
Great.
I'm like, I know this thing fucking sucks. I'm going to use this on someone rich.
So Ryan, it's a thing I made up, so there's no real stat block for it. It's a if someone is within close range, it's a DC let's say 17 or no, what's your you don't have a spell casting modifier.
Correct.
We'll say it's a DC 17 check, dex check to get out of the way because it has to be very, very close. Like,
Yeah, we're talking I can touch your face.
Yeah. Basically a touch attack. And if they fail, they take D6 damage.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Seston, for handing it over. So,
This is the point of the process. We take what we can from these less guarded places and we bring it to the stronger ones.
all right, so we just move our way down to the next one. Is that our approximate plan at this point?
Let's go.
Let's go. A team not Adonis. Let's get her fucking done.
Yes, let's. Meanwhile, back in Dumfey Rune, you have climbed the staircase and having briefly touched base with the new future, find yourselves actually not in any of the rooms that are listed. The first door you open, I think, Queenie, you notice it, and it's almost flush to the wall. It looks... Because, like, again, we're talking like sort of a big circular staircase. So it's part of kind of the column. Given that you're a thief, you kind of keep your eyes open for such things. And you notice that there is almost an invisible door on the wall.
I'll run my hands kind of along it to assess the dimensions and see if there's any trick to opening it.
Sure. You can find kind of where a handle is that's completely obscured. Do you want to check for traps, given your last...
Yeah, is there a way for me to know that there's a magical fist about to wail down on me?
You can have... you can instruct them to check for magic. Both of them are slightly more attuned to such things. You can check for mechanical bits.
Yeah, hey guys, there's a secret door here. Do you want to check it for big hands before I get in there?
I mean, it's not my specialty, but I'll see what I can do. And I just want to like raise my hands out and pray and just see if I can, I guess, insight anything that feels weird.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll me an insight, please.
That is 23.
Oh, seem pretty good at it to me.
Yeah, this definitely feels like there's some kind of magical trap on it. Secret door and a secret wall doesn't exactly scream like anyone can open it. You're not sure if it's the same thing though.
Oh yeah, there's a magic trap here, but I don't know what it does.
All right. Can I start to unlock it?
I'm going to stand back.
What did the last one do again?
Punched him across the room.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Yeah, I want to basically try to unlock it and then have my mage hand finish it from a distance.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check, please.
And I'll have gone away and be like, good luck, bud, and I'll pat you, but I'll cast guidance. I had 4.
Okay, so 4 makes my die roll 20, and then this makes it,
Of course it does.
32.
You unlock every door.
All the doors
Every
open.
door in the world.
That's the highest I've ever done. 32.
Yeah. So you start to unlock it, and when you can start to feel the last pin essentially change, you kind of backflip out of the way and sort of midair reach out and mage hand it. And as soon as you crack the door, it basically there's like a sort of a blast of cold air. The door is suddenly covered in a sheet of ice, and spikes blast out of the ice. They would have impaled whoever was standing there, but obviously you weren't. Your mage hand kind of dissipates as the spikes come out, and then as soon as they've extended to full, they just start dripping.
I'll like share a look with Butthole and Juniper, like, ooh.
Okay, so we don't open the secret doors without expecting magic.
You want to smash these with your hammer or
cut
them with your sword?
I just walk over with toothy hammer because it's got the T-Rex teeth on the side.
Yeah.
Just like hammer down the edges of them
Did you
so I
say
can
any
open
cool
it.
quips about it before you do it?
Ice to meet you, I say
you.
as I smash stuff down.
You smash it down, and and then the door can open normally.
All right, I'll pop that door open.
You're immediately hit with kind of a musty smell.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine? I'm just like, yes, you solved the trap, but not the man with the crossbow. You're hit with a musty smell, and you kind of step in, and a carpet squishes under your foot. And you're in an office. It seems to be sort of a large circular office, sort of the size of one of these levels. There's, of course, the glass tube in the center. That said, it is blacked out, so this would seem, if you were going up the giant glass tube, this would seem just like you were passing through concrete or something, as opposed to then you wouldn't know anything was here. But there's sort of a central view panel that kind of gives a view of the dome, the space within the dome. Looking around, there's sort of a central desk. You can see sort of some chairs where someone could sit casually. There is a massive map of a multi-floor map of the facility up against one wall. But the place also looks like it's been abandoned. There's several empty bottles of liquor on the desk that seem to be knocked over. You see a couple of broken glasses on the wall. It seems like someone's thrown a glass against the wall, possibly in rage. As you start to look around a bit, there's sort of a couch that you can see has some blankets on it, and there's kind of a pile of clothes near the foot. Other than that, you're just kind of in this office. And sorry, the one other thing of note is a giant ring above the desk, kind of next to the maps. Sorry, it's not above the desk. It's at the back of the room next to the maps. Circular rooms are fucking terrible to describe. That looks to have the same kind of mechanical backing as the spyglass. However, this thing is like mad broken. Like it is shattered, almost as though someone took an axe to it.
All right, I want to start going through the desk, if I can.
Sure.
Walk in and start going through drawers.
So you start looting through the drawers, and you find Typhus. In this case, it's Typhus Ventures stationery with the same sort of T icon on them that you've seen on the jumpsuits and on the doors. You can tell that it's Grayson Typhus's desk. You can see there's a lot of just sort of notes to self. There seem to be kind of a lot of plans about different exhibits and different ways to get people excited. You can tell it really does feel kind of like you're going through Walt Disney's desk. Like it is very theme park heavy and very, where's the proper placement for this? How can we get people excited about this? As you examine the kind of the map diagrams and things, you can also see there's a number of diagrams for diving bells, similar to the one you came down in.
Okay.
So there seem to be kind of plans for how to get people to and from the surface. And you find like an accounting book that seems to have statistics about how many mages are needed. It doesn't say that explicitly, but kind of based on what you saw previously, it's sort of like, chamber of, I forget what I called that one, but like the chamber of conjuration. And it's like 6. And, hall of whatever, 10, and so on and so forth.
Meanwhile, I'm going around the room because if I know one thing about rich, evil people, and having had one as a dad, you learn it a lot. They've always got some sort of hidden safe or some sort of secret, I need to keep my secret extra secret space. So I'm just like praying and farting gently and walking around holding my hands out where I'm like, if I was an evil dickhead, where would I hide my box of secret stuff? And I just want to see if I can like use my weird insight Sherlocking to find it.
Sure. Go ahead.
18.
Okay. So, as you go around, you find let's see. It's the stupidest thing you could have a picture of. You find just like a classic like hero portrait of Grayson Typhus. He's smiling broadly, and he's kind of got like the Napoleon hand thing. Mm-hmm. And he seems to have like a shovel that he's got one foot up on, and it's like one of those classic like breaking ground. And underneath it says, there's a little plaque that says like the future site of Typhus Ventures amusement zone. And you take it off the wall. It's dated from a number of years ago.
Okay.
He looks much younger in it than he does in some of the other things. You take it off the wall, and sure enough, there is a safe behind it. The door seems to be slightly ajar.
Okay. And I just like stand to the side and use my longest tool to like just creak it open.
Inside, it looks like there's, a few gold coins, but it looks like it's been looted.
Damn it.
Check it for an extra compartment. See if there's any switches in there.
Okay, so I take my tools out and I'll see if there's anything.
Sure, you click it, a second compartment opens, and there's nothing in it. It's been cleared out.
Nope. They beat us to that one too. So I take the 4 gold and I go like, thanks for the idea though, Quinny. Here's your tip. And I just give him the gold.
I'll take the coins and also be like, third compartment?
And I go back to
you
fiddle.
feel around, you spend some time feeling around in an empty safe. It's very empty.
And I say, yes, there definitely was one, but there's nothing in it. Don't look.
There's no third compartment. He's not that rich.
Juniper, what are you doing in this room?
We've got some maps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna want to check those out just to make sure we know exactly where we're going. Because the stairs have been kind of troublesome for us with the Kraken, so I just want to see if there are other routes to get to the other rooms.
Yeah, so to be clear, the stairs where you encountered the Kraken were back in the dome. So now that you're in the main superstructure, you haven't had any Kraken-related stair issues.
Okay.
It does seem like the stairs on either side of the central sort of body of the stack and the elevator are the only 2 ways up or down.
Okay.
That said, this does give you like a clear idea of kind of where everything is. Yeah. And you can see that it seems to be built. There seem to be kind of like plans for expansion.
Okay.
You can see almost the idea would be that this would be the central hub, and then there would be secondary hubs kind of off every angle. You do notice, though, that he seems to have underlined a few times, like power source with a question mark.
Oh, did you find like a generator room or something? Because we still got lights in here, which seems kind of crazy. And when they turned it on, that's when stuff went bad with the explosions and the pulse and the Kraken.
Yeah.
We could try turning it off if we know where the generator is.
Let's see. Is there anything on the map?
Yeah, there seems to be a...
I know the term generator because I know people who had to put magic into stuff, and they'd be like, that's the generator. What you had to do is run on a big wheel while casting magic into it.
So the generator seems to be underneath the C block or the Hall of Conjuration, so back kind of where the portal was.
Oh, we're not going back that way.
It looks like there is a service hatch a few floor up in central processing, which is at the very top of the stack.
Can I have a look at this pile of clothes before we move on?
Yeah, sure. So they are, as Butthole put it, kind of rich asshole clothes in Faerun, but very well worn. There's also like some, for lack of a better term, rich asshole adventuring clothes. So like he's got a full Faerun Tilly set. But it all seems very, very worn and soiled. Like these clothes have been overworn.
Yeah. So, rich asshole, typhus, I guess. His clothes here.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't put somebody else's picture on his wall. If you're rich, it's you or nobody.
Empty liquor bottles, some glass smashed against the wall. You think one typhus from one world screwed another typhus over?
Or he just fucked it up, because, I mean, this is a terrible theme park from what I've seen. If you look, nobody's here. I mean, they don't even have any franchising. It's a real problem.
But he sounds like a real serious player on that other side where Alan is.
Is there like a skeleton in the room?
There's not.
Just wondering if, maybe one of them got abandoned here.
Well, I mean, but
I don't know.
Typhus, because there's more than one per world. So what if this world thought he was making a theme park and the other guy was an asshole, and then they got smushed? But his body isn't here. What if the bad man is still alive and hiding, and that's why all the lights are on?
Yeah, maybe.
So you think we should just keep going up? I mean, we got to turn the lights off, right? Maybe the Kraken will leave. It's like, I like it when it's dark.
The Kraken's
Hurts my eyes.
hungry. It's not so much about light and dark. The Kraken wants to eat.
Yeah, but we could sneak out if it's dark.
I feel like Kraken's got home field advantage in the deep, dark sea.
Okay, then what do you think we should do?
I think we should keep exploring. I think you're right about that. I think we should keep an eye out for a typhus, and as much as I hate to say it, we might be able to negotiate with them, and I hold up like a soiled pair of pants. Like, this guy only has 2 compartments in his safe. He's not shit your pants rich. So he's been screwed over. He's been hard done by. So maybe we can get something out of him.
Perfect. All right, let's go keep looking then, I guess, but stay careful.
He might have all the answers we need.
This Kraken could get in here, and we got to fuck up a Kraken.
Ryan, can you roll me an insight check, please?
12.
For just a split second, you think you hear a voice in your head say, I sure could.
What?
What?
Somebody said something in my head.
Moonhammer, as per usual.
No, this was a dude, and it said, I sure could.
Sure could what?
I don't know. What did you say before?
What did you say?
I don't... something about him helping us, maybe? Did I say that you could help us, maybe?
There's no response. It's a shame there isn't a recorded audio version of everything you said. That'd be very handy. But there isn't for any of our characters, only for us humans.
So what? Are you Grayson Typhus?
Nothing.
Come on, man, let's go.
Okay.
And so together you begin to sort of leave the secret area and begin to climb further up. Meanwhile, back in 2099, you have arrived on which block are we on now? You are
the next
on,
one down
from N block. So you're on I block. You exit the elevator to a shocking sight. You see a version of Alan. You see a version who looks similar to Adonis. You see a version of Honor System as a Ronin droid, and you see a version of Declan staring you down. And then after a moment, you realize that you're looking at the most flawless mirror you've ever seen. The entire space outside this elevator just seems to be one flawless mirror reflecting everything. It almost looks like you almost feel ill from the double vision of being able to see your surroundings and see them reflected so perfectly.
I want to walk towards it and touch the mirror.
As you do so, like your reflection does the same thing. You step out onto kind of nothing, but you're, still moving. You can see yourself reflected perfectly under you, behind you. Looking back, the elevator seems like it's been cut out of space and time, but otherwise it's just kind of you walking on a void. And you reach the reflection and you touch it, and it feels like you're touching your own hand.
Your Adonis Typhus, call out. This is your block.
Okay.
These are all yours.
All right. Illusions, right? All right. Let's cut the illusions. CEO's here.
You hear, oh, shit. And then some scrambling. And you hear a halfling voice say, pardon me. Hey, so sorry. Do you have your goggles? Goggles make all the difference down here.
No. Why did no one give me goggles?
Oh, I am so sorry. That's on me. So you hear some quick scuffling, and suddenly a door opens, but behind it is the same thing you're seeing. And a halfling woman scurries out and holds out a pair of goggles to you.
Thanks. I put them on.
Suddenly you're standing just in a sort of the same hallway you've seen everywhere, with the door open. But the halfling in front of you is actually tremendously familiar, as you recognize Annan.
Ah. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Typhus. I'm sorry, I don't think we've ever had a chance to meet. My name is Annan. I am the chief of iBlock. I'm so sorry about did you see the mirrors? Did you see the clouds, or did you see the spooky jester?
Mirrors.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's the least horrifying of them. I'm afraid it's what we call the bleed. It's things are a little volatile down here, and unfortunately, it just means that the illusions kind of don't stop. Oh, I'm sorry, you have companions. Hang on, and she kind of snaps.
Say, what do we see as we see Alan
You're still seeing just it's the same thing, just this incredibly weird.
Oh, so Alan just disappeared for us. She put goggles on and is gone.
She put goggles on, and it looks like she's just standing there with goggles on, but it's still, and you can see Annan, but it's still just an endless field of infinite vision. So she runs over, hands you some goggles, but she looks at Honor System, and she says, pardon me, are your optics picking up the illusion, or can you see sort of a hallway?
I only see me and my friends.
Oh, that's very interesting. We've been having this issue with our security detail as well. It seems that the stock is actually getting more powerful, and they can actually affect cybernetics now, which is a true leap. Hang on, we actually have some patching software for that. If you can just give me a moment. So she leaves and she comes back with basically a thumbstick, and she's like, "Here, you can patch yourself with this."
And I will just hesitate for a second and look to Declan before proceeding to put it in.
Yeah, I just at my hip hit a button that updates my copy of him that I store on the drive. So if it does fuck him up, we can reload.
Sure you can. All right. So Honor System, you have the thumb drives. You're installing it.
Yeah.
Right. So you install it, and sort of the Typhus logo appears, and yeah, it's just a quick patch, and suddenly the image in front of you switches to thermal, and you can see clearly kind of where everyone is. And then it kind of cross scans the thermal and then
remaps it?
Yeah, basically remaps it. So weirdly, you're not actually seeing directly what's in front of you. You're seeing a weird kind of digital recreation of it, but it's enough that you're able to.
Okay.
It's close enough, but just a little off.
Okay.
So Annan says, yes, excellent. Well, welcome to iBlock. I was so sorry to hear about your father. Word has been coming down from Central that he was lost, and that must be very hard.
The hardest.
A typhus through and through, I see. Welcome to iBlock. And she kind of leads you in, and inside everyone is wearing these goggles, and there's racks, and it's almost like going to a 3D movie. There's just racks of them everywhere. There's like boxes of them. It just clearly seems like no matter who you are, where you are, what's going on, they just have these at hand. And unlike the precog section or any of the others, here there's actually mages just kind of walking around, and they seem to just have a visor on over their eyes. But those visors, similar to like sort of modern 3D goggle rigs, like they almost look like Oculus Rifts, all have like massive cables going up to a ceiling where they're all connected to sort of a central hub. But it means that they can just wander around the room as they see fit. But they're still wearing a piece that's connected to machinery.
They're recognizably mages.
Yeah, they're wearing the same jumpsuits as the precogs.
Okay.
They're not wearing robes or anything, but yes, it's very clear. I think you can infer.
Yeah, okay.
Do we see any Ronins or any armed security?
In here, it's humans, and they're wearing, well, not humans, but humanoid people, and they're wearing goggles and have laser rifles.
How many of them are there?
There are 6 in here.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Annan, there are mages walking around. How can you allow them to walk around?
Oh, yes, I can understand why you'd be confused. So we learned from the mistakes of our precog division, which has been trying to force the mages to predict things. What we've found is that if we actually just give them the freedom to dream, and if we guide those dreams with suggestion, they actually create better illusions. So powerful, in fact, that we're getting the bleed effect as you experienced out there. But it's part of the only reason we can keep this facility away from the other houses, which of course would be very jealous and would try and destroy us if they had the chance.
I gesture to the wires coming up out of the headsets and say, what happens if you sever the connection? Or what happens if this connection is severed?
It would be very alarming to the dreamers. They're currently dreaming the illusions that keep us away and keep us safe. If that connection was severed, it would likely fry their minds. We would never cut a connection. We have to ease them back out. It's the only way we can keep them intact and keep their brains safe.
How long is that process?
It takes around 20 minutes. We've only had to do it a few times, and that was very early on. But we've been very lucky. Unlike the other departments, we don't burn through stock. And you can see she kind of winces as she says that. Like it's a distasteful word to her.
So what are they doing right now?
Oh, well, as you've probably noticed, most people in the world don't know about the stack. Or about where the core of Typhus's development division comes from. That's because we've been keeping it safe for years. I'm not the first person to do this job, and I certainly won't be the last. A lot of the technology in our world is powered by these gifted volunteers who keep the facility charged and running. But of course, if anything bad would happen in the conglomerata, we have the prodigals to be concerned about, all sorts of insurgent threats. If anyone found out where this place was, it would, and if this place was destroyed, it would seriously disrupt the entire world. It would fall apart. So our dreamers here, they dream us to safety. They create such an overpowering illusion that the stack can barely be found, and people just can't remember it.
I sub-vocalize to Alan. I'm like, we're going to need a distraction if we want to take out this security. We don't need to kill the handlers. We need them to actually get these people out safe. But we've got 6 men with rifles.
They're all wearing the visors though, right? We can take off the visors. If we can take those off, I mean...
But they said if we take the visors off, we fry the illusion.
I think she means
No.
the goggles.
Sorry, the goggles. Yeah,
Off
if we
the
take
security guards.
Do you have a way to do that? There's 6 of them around the room. I can't. I can shoot people. I can't shoot goggles off.
do 6 magic missiles.
So you'll just go for the goggle bands, and then we just shoot them after the goggles come off?
Yeah, why not?
System, any objections?
Better than me forcing the goggles off of one and human shielding him until I walk up to the next one, and so on, and so on.
Annan's like, I'm so sorry. Can I get you anything while you sub-vocalize? I don't mean to be rude. I know sometimes corporate conversations go on for a while. So if you need anything while you're sub-vocalizing, just let me know.
Yeah, just, have you got some coffee?
Yes, of course. Anything for the CEO. She like immediately goes over, and you can see like basically as soon as she turns her back, just like magic missiles fly from your fingertips.
Absolutely.
And as she's like walking over to the various kinds of coffee, she's like, okay, there's like a light roast and a dark roast, and then she just hears someone yell, "Ah, spooky jester!"
Yay!
And so the guards are panicked. One of them starts firing his rifle just spasmodically.
I want to shut that down.
Okay, so yeah, you manage to kill him, but not unfortunately before he shoots one of the dreamers. So they kind of collapse to the ground. All of a sudden, the other guards start screaming even more intensely because whatever the dying mage was considering has made this a hellscape for anyone not wearing goggles. I assume, are you trying to put down all the soldiers?
Yeah, we'll cap the
Yeah.
soldiers and then collect the rifles. So that
Cool.
we
So
can-
you make quick work of the rest of them. The rest of the staff start hiding under tables and throws herself in front of the mages, and she's just like, "I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're not taking them." And she reaches for a pistol.
Well, friend, let's not go quite so fast into this one. We killed them because they seem terrible. You're actually getting between us and the mages, and what we would like to do is free them. So now we're going to have this awkward moment, because if you want to keep them, then you're probably going to draw that gun, and I might get shot, or you might get shot, but he'll definitely kill you. And I point over at Honor System. I'm like, or we can all take, let's say, 25 minutes and ease these mages out, and then we can let them go, and then we'll let you live. And if you can vouch for anyone else who's hiding under a table rather than protecting the lives of mages, we'll let them go too.
Wait. No. That means they'll destroy the stack. We'll lose our entire world.
Well, see, here's the interesting thing. That falls into not my fucking problem.
It's all of our problem. Besides, they chose to be here. Why would you want to take our volunteers? Our job is to keep them safe.
I think that's a line that
Great.
Typhus has been feeding you.
Do you know what I'd
That
love?
you've been feeding us?
Yes.
She's very confused.
Adonis, furious with his father. But what I'd like to say, here's the deal. If they're volunteers, I want you to give me 3 of them. And I just go, that one, Honor System, pick the third one at random,
Her.
and that one. Take them out. If they tell us that they're volunteers, then we can have a different conversation.
Okay, I'll do this for you, but I'm worried for their safety. So here's the deal. I'll take them out. I'll have my people take them out. I need you to put your guns down. I'm going to put a gun on you. And if any of you fuckers try and hurt these people, I'm going to shoot you in the goddamn head.
See, I'm going to have to go with no dice on that one, because there's not really a world where I put down my gun for someone who works for Grace and Typhus.
You work for Adonis, Typhus. You're just as bad, if not worse.
This is just sort of proving that you're not that smart. Okay. Somebody else want to try this one?
I'll step in and I'll take Legion off of my hip, still in a scabbard, lay it on the floor, and kind of kneel in front of my sword. And I'll say, Declan, lock the doors with our code. Annan, is it?
Yes.
You can kill me if you wish, but you're not leaving here without him. He stays alive because only he knows the code.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure I watched him download your brain. This seems like a pretty empty threat. Sorry, folks. I was going to let that slide when I thought you were from corporate, but come on, I'm not an idiot. Fine. I put a gun to her head.
So
his
you
head.
know.
She puts a gun to Adonis's head. She's like, look, if you really believe in this cause, then we'll do this right. But there's no way in hell I'm letting you take these innocent people.
And then I just go to subvocalize for a second. I'm like, here's ultimately our big question. Even if they are volunteers, they're enabling the enslavement of everybody else in this facility. So, do we let them keep going because we'd already decided that anyone complicit gets executed?
Let's change the equation. And I'll just say, Alan, protect yourself. And I'm just going to reach for Annan's gun.
And at that moment, I will misty step to the other side of the room.
Okay, so she fires twice as you grab the gun. Alan, you get clear of it, obviously. And Annan's like, you fucking monsters, leave them alone.
I just destroy the gun and I say, you said you're not going to let us take these innocent people. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to let you keep these innocent people.
They're here by choice. I don't know what you're going to do with them, but we know what happens to mages in this
You're
world.
saying it's their choice. We've
Yes.
spoken to these people. They are not here by choice.
Who have you spoken to? What are you talking about?
We've cleared out 3 of your blocks. You're number 4.
Nobody else was a volunteer. They all got brain fucked to death.
These people are being used as batteries. or their minds are being exploited to guess stock prices.
Okay, so she's like pretty uncertain about this, but also you get the sense that you've said a couple things that trigger kind of like none of this has sat well with her. So she says, okay, fine. I'll take one out.
Bourbon,
Yes, it's me.
initiate playback.
Oh, okie dokie. And he just like flashes the precogs specifically. And Annan's like, oh, fuck. And she just yells to everyone else. She's like, all right, like, so bring them out. Bring them all out. She's like, we're going to get to the bottom of this. But I swear, if these people are here by choice and you're trying to take them and exploit them, we'll resist you with everything we've got.
Well, I can promise you one thing. If these people are volunteers who are complicit, we will not be taking them to exploit them.
So you get the precogs out. You get the sense she was gilding to Lily a bit on the 20 minutes. It's kind of a Scotty from Star Trek thing. Like, oh, it's going to take, I don't know, Captain, it's going to take 3 days. And he's like, hey, it only takes Scotty 5 minutes.
She just pulls the helmets off and they're fine. Like,
No,
this is bullshit.
Like it does take some time to kind of rehabilitate them and get their brains back on track. But as soon as you start like basically thawing these people out, it is very clear that none of them are here as volunteers, and Anna is just fucking devastated. Like she's aghast. She just says, I'm so sorry. The person who recruited me was a dear trusted mentor, and I believed her when she said what was going on here. And then when I met the director, her vision was just so clear. I trusted her, and I was wrong. This is an atrocity. You can tell not all the staff share her sentiments, but they're all staying very quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, you stood up for mages and you seem like a pretty good person. This is going to be an awkward thing for you. Who did you know before you started this job? Who else got brought in by the director and who was already here?
So she points to, like, let's say there's 10 people. She points to 4 that are very much like, no, they came in with me. They're friends. I brought them on board, blah, blah, blah. There's a couple she doesn't know that are fairly new. And then she looks at like the remaining 4 and she says, listen, I know this might be an awkward question. Can I borrow that? And she like nods at your pistol.
Yeah, I'm willing to let this one ride. I'm on board with this. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Take a look. It's a good model.
She goes, oh, yeah, thanks. I really like how this one has little recoil. And then she proceeds to just like sweep the pistol across the remaining 4, just dropping them. And she's like, oh, wow, did you do something with the stock? This is really nice.
Oh, honestly, you got to put the time into customizing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You can keep that one.
Well, thank you.
You've got your new friends here, which is good. I think we can trust you to look after these people. Who else? Mages, this is unfortunate. I don't know if any of you know each other, but a quick election. Which one of you wants to be in charge?
There's a dwarf woman who just kind of raises her arm shakily.
Congratulations, you've just inherited 6 laser rifles.
Yeah.
And I like
Honor system
hand those
passes
over.
them out.
And she picks one up, and you see her kind of rub her shoulder, and she's like, they got me with one of these when I first got here.
There's
This
such
is
a
going
like,
to be nice.
There's like a huge amount of like catharsis, I think is the right word for honor system, as he like hands these weapons and like speaking to each of the mages, being like, you were dreaming, you're awake now, fight back, and like giving them their weapons and stuff.
Great.
Yeah, I would say if there's some sort of evacuation hangar or anything, like we'd probably coordinate with Annan where it's just like get them out. And if we're sending them up, theoretically, the precogs are still just in their room armed for no reason. And I'm like,
So basically, I think the order of the day is going to be there's the 2 submarines back in the hangar deck. So Annan will take.
which we did flood, but they'll figure that out.
No,
They
I
got
was going to say.
magic.
So they'll take the Dreamers, go pick up the precogs, and they'll make their way up and start dealing with the hangar. At the very least, figure out a way to get those ships active. At best, vent it. And see, because there's also like there are flooding protocols, right? It's not like, oh, it flooded. Well, shit, we never thought of this underwater. But it's a little bit like damage in space, or even in a submarine or anything else, where it's like, okay, well, when the puncture happens, we seal everything off. It's a problem until we can figure out how to empty it, but we don't just give up on that space. So they're going to go try and sort that out.
Great. I guess the last question before we let you go, and you got any suggestions on anything coming up for us in the future? Anything we could get around security, or any red flags or warnings?
I mean, we're a pretty isolated bunch. Our work is pretty all consuming. We try and make sure that we're focused on our specific unit. I will say there's been a lot of commotion, and some of our regulators here were talking about the buffs they got. Obviously, didn't do them too much good when you lot showed up, so you might be all right. But yeah, it would seem that the abjuration division is really toughening folks up. Otherwise, my best advice would be it seems like the sort of overall state of alarm is giving you a lot of cover, and that's great. You should make sure that the director doesn't get wind of this, because if she does, that's really going to fuck things up for all of you. If she doesn't know yet that you're here, that's great. You should try and keep it that way for as long as you can.
Do we know of a way to prevent subdermal communication? Like, we killed Mike, who was going to contact the director. Are we about to leave, plus Ann and 5 typhus employees, no matter what their beliefs might be? Are we about to leave them in this room to communicate to the director? Maybe, maybe not. Is there a way that we can lock that down? I'm asking meta-wise in the world. Do we know how to
I think
go dark for these people? Or is it more of a question of maybe we need to kill them?
Yeah, you could probably fry their subdermals, but you'd also risk frying your own.
Oh, there's an easy answer to this question. Annan, okay, we've established that you're legitimate. And they're 4 Annan friends. Yeah. And then there were two other people. I'm like, great. This is unfortunate. You're going to have to look after them. And it's just stock to the head. I'm like, keep them out, or we might fry their brains, taking out their subdermals. But this feels like a nice middle ground.
She's like, yeah. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Hang on a second. She goes and takes 2 of the Dreamer's visors off. She's like, these things can run on battery power pretty well. And she straps them on to the 2 unconscious people. So don't worry. They'll be in a weird place.
Perfect. That checks out for me. By the way, if anyone's got any energy that won't hurt him to spend, we do have some friends. They're it's called House Dwerden. It's all the drow. If you let a drow know, the message will go to them. Maybe tell them to come here and help us before we blow it up.
I mean, communications from here are strictly forbidden, but we'll and regulated. They don't want us telling anyone we're here, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's them, and then there's Sublime and the Twist. Well, you know what? You'll do what you can. I believe in you.
I mean, oh yeah, they were all in McFest. They weren't in near Frostwood, got blown up.
No, luckily we brought everyone with us.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, they sort of pack up and they say, I think what you're all doing is very worthwhile. Adonis, I don't really know why you're helping us, but I appreciate it.
I just put my hand on her shoulder and just have a lapse in concentration of my alter self, and it kind of reveals who I am.
Oh wow, okay.
And I just wink and say thank you.
That's scary. That's very scary. Okay.
It comes out, you're like the kid from The Grudge, because he's still the black veins and terrifying eyes.
You say, meow.
Okay, yeah, mages, spooky. Okay, well, best of luck. Do me a favor. Don't die. And then she takes her crew and off they go.
Well, you know what? It was good we didn't murder them. I don't get to say that terribly often, but it's nice to get to once or twice.
I mean, Annan's good in my world.
Interesting.
You know her?
Well, I know the version of her from my world.
Right. Alter versions of people. I wonder if there's another version of me.
It's an interesting question. I don't know about synthetics. That's a good old question mark. We'll have to find out. Maybe you're a person in another world. Who knows? Maybe there's a person who is just going along under mind control, and in the same moment, bam, all of a sudden they could free who they are.
Food for thought. And I go to the elevator.
All right, yeah, let's go. Here's the question. Do we actually know the order of anything coming below us? Did we figure that out? Are there buttons on the elevator that are labeled?
Just different letters.
I mean, honestly, yeah, probably. The next floor down is A block, abjuration.
Lots of traffic is in my notes for that.
Yeah. I guess, is there a block labeled for the director's suite? Is there...
The director's office isn't labeled as a place you can visit, but who knows? Maybe if you got in touch with your friends in another world, they might have some info for you.
Ooh. Hey, Alan, we should ask them where the director's thing is, because we're definitely going to fuck this up in one of the next 3 ones, so the director's going to know. So if we can go straight there, we can deal with them.
All right, and I pull out the glass. Hey, guys? Guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
I take it out. It's like my face was really sweaty. Look, I found 4 coins, and then we found this office. It's really weird.
Is this the director's office?
We think it's Grace and Typhus's office.
Yeah, it's the paintings of him were all over the place.
Yeah.
That
he shit his pants in
might
here.
be what we're looking for.
Does he poop his pants when he's
looking for
scared?
his shitty pants?
What?
He pooped his pants and we found him.
No, I think we're looking for an office that would belong to a director-like person.
Yeah, but he pooped his pants in his office. We're asking, does Grace and Typhus poop his pants when he's scared or angry?
Yeah, our Grayson Typhus shits all of his pants. Does your Grayson Typhus poop all of his pants?
Or do you not know? That's okay too.
Declan, you're also overhearing this and given your hatred of the conglomerate. I feel like there's no way you wouldn't chime in.
I don't know.
This is pretty great. Let him keep going. Somebody tape this. I gotta put this out.
I will tape it. I can release it as part of my first Hot 5 album.
Yeah, we're gonna call this "Does Grayson Typhus poop his pants?" And the answer is always yes.
.wave.
I bet he poops them when he's happy.
Well, he's pretty happy over here.
I cast it.
Okay, you're growing on me, you little bastard. Okay, so yeah, so
It
okay.
doesn't matter.
Well, I guess
Sorry.
okay. So, but yeah, we found an office. It wasn't like it was it part of the map when you were looking at the map before, Quinny?
You've got a map?
Well, I mean, we had one. Do you remember it?
Kind of.
No,
I think we can safely say like Juniper would have rolled that shit up and put it in her bag.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, Juniper's like an outlander. Maps are her jam.
Just a second. Well, Pat, Juniper, will you remember the map?
I can always remember a map.
Okay, so we roll it up real tight. We just squeeze it through the hole.
Yeah.
So they have the
Yeah,
map on their side.
So, Alan, to your kind of surprise and delight, a map comes through the.
Thanks, guys.
Got to pay you back for that metal scroll.
Your hand.
So,
Ugh.
I guess, Juniper, you're the one who's good with directions. Can you explain where the office was?
Yeah, and Juniper explains it because Juniper has a better memory than Laura does.
Yeah, it's basically the key thing that our heroes need is that it's a secret
Door in the necromancy.
Well, and for them, it'll be off the elevator shaft because they're taking the elevator everywhere. But that it's a hidden door, like it's a false floor between two floors on the elevator. So that's enough information for you guys to know where to stall the elevator and to try and find it that way.
Oh, this is really useful. I mean, I think we've got what we've got to go find the director. Alan, do you got anything you want to say to your friends?
Guys, doing okay?
I mean, big picture? No, there's a giant squid that is starving and seems to only want to eat us. I feel like it's so big it's eaten everything else in the ocean.
Yeah, it's a really big problem in that sense. But like room to room, we're okay. We healed ourselves up. Like we're not dead.
The
but
squid shoots lightning.
yeah, if the squid,
Oh, wow.
if the squid decides to just break the building, I have some real concerns about how this is going to go for us.
Small picture, we're doing all right. I
Found some gold. Looked
got
at
both
paintings.
my spell slots still.
Yeah, a guy poops his pants.
Would you mind just like showing us around the director's office just so we know what we're going into?
I gotta go back to it. Just a second.
Yeah, so you quickly,
hobble up the stairs.
Yeah.
you quickly show them around the office. You show them the safe.
Yeah, here's the hidden safe. Here's where the poop pants were.
You show where the second safe is.
Yeah, there's a back to it. There's not a third one we checked.
Hey, heads up. Door to this place was trapped, booby trapped.
Yeah, with magic.
Okay.
It was an ice trap.
Yeah, it was no problem for me.
And as you kind of finish like talking about that in the office, you hear kind of a huge commotion, and looking out the window, you can see that the dome has collapsed, and the Kraken is currently trying to force its way into the elevator shaft.
We gotta go. Yeah, bye, Kraken, bye.
This episode of Dum Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum Dums and Dragons. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christian Menicola, Long, The Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, DM Rob, Christopher Little, Joshua White, Olin Anderson, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.